It's Thursday, January 5th. This is a pre-opening SPY report about an hour to go before the open, and we just had some economic data release that sent prices a little lower for the time being. We'll see if that holds up. What we've been talking about, if you look at some of the recap videos, we have this big overall range in place for a few weeks now. That's causing a lot of choppiness. There's always been the bias that after this first leg down here going sideways, we're getting ready for another leg down. Again, that aligns with the monthly chart that it was red last month. And looks like high probability it would probably want to test at least those lows. If we want to get another, two down bar, we could have other bigger picture targets to the downside as well. We don't know for sure yet, but that's the bias. And at the moment, until we get above this purple line, which let's go to the daily chart, that's kind of the key opening price here that sends the month and the week and the bigger picture targets, or continuity to the upside. So that happens to align with the upper end of the range this morning, the blue line. So again, until we get above there, which would be the purple line and the pre-market highs, then we're not going to be biased to the upside. We, of course, had the inside bar yesterday, so we're looking for a breakout there, also being aware that we can get failures on any inside bar breakout. But it looks like, the weakness now, you can see here, this was, the market was kind of grinding a little bit to the higher end of the yesterday's range. Economic data release, we're kind of moving lower here. So it looks like we should have a weaker opening. So to me, it looks like we're getting ready to probably try a downside breakout. That's the way I would aggressively play it. We'll see if we take out that low of yesterday, which also aligns with the midpoint, that yellow line. If you recall, that's the midpoint of the prior week. We sort of had the 2-up week failure on the first day of the week where we reached that middle line, but then we paused a little bit before, which would project down to these levels, these weekly lows down here. But we did pause yesterday after that kind of moved down. But we didn't really go anywhere to the upside, so now we're going back down again, it looks like. Anyway, if we break through this pre-market low, take out this yesterday's low, we're projecting down there, which again starts that weekly target down to those lows, and we could get a nice outside bar here to the downside before the week's over. So that's what's developing. The way that would fail, it would be coming now above the midpoint of the prior day. So that essentially lines up with kind of this yellow line, which is the close of yesterday. So in other words, if we come down and have a big red opening bar below the pre-market lows and come down either to take out yesterday's low but can't really reach our target and fail, we would have to come up to the midpoint of yesterday's bar, which essentially is this yellow line here. So we'll look for continuation. The way I'm seeing it, look for continuation of the downside to start, be aggressive with it, see if we finally break out of that big range. And if we fail, we're just going to not continue at the open down, and we'll start up above some pre-market high, above the first bar high, and we'd have to kind of move above that yellow line, yesterday's midpoint, to then kind of see if we can work up to those targets and finally get this market moving up. But to me, it looks like the downside breakout wants to give a shot this morning. It could be like this day here where we had 2 inside days and we had a nice red bar. We didn't follow through after that, but we had a very good trading day. This might be the day we do actually get a red bar and follow through a lot lower. So let's see if that's what develops. But we're still inside of the range. So the key is you kind of know the levels that you're monitoring, and when we see how opening price action unfolds, we'll know how it unfolds relative to all these key levels that we're looking for to finally get a feeling what directional where price will go directionally out of this range at some point. So let's see if the downside finally happens today, and if not, the stop is tight enough where if you fail on the downside, then again look for the upside to possibly be a nice reversal. But for now, it seems like the market after the news is kind of holding down here. So that would be, if it does hold down here for the next hour or so, or 45 minutes, I would kind of really expect downside action to unfold today.